The demand of the times. Our earnest request. This booklet is a bouquet of spiritual thoughts. Kindly convey these thoughts to more and more people by presenting this booklet to your friends and relatives as a handy gift on auspicious occasions of festivals of Diwali, Holi, etc. This small gift would prove to be more valuable and inspiring than other valuable gifts. Prepare a plan to detach yourself from ambitions, desires, luxury, and status, and try to develop a lifestyle which is praiseworthy and which people will like to follow. Do not hanker after dazzling others and getting cheap praise from the people. Seek the path in which your inner greatness gets the chance to be nurtured for immortality. Try to achieve that which provides satisfaction, creates faith in people, and brings divine blessings. If you want to use your valor to prove something, then build such a bridge or construct such a ship with whose help innumerable people will be able to cross vast oceans and reach the shores. If you want to show your diligence, do something of high level. Your valor and diligence should set an example for people to follow so that they become capable of achievement. The thinking and character of Pragyaputras, enlightened followers of our mission, must be of a very high level. His enthusiasm, deeds, achievements should have an inspiring speciality. Like the lamp lighting up the surroundings, such inspiring deeds cast their own glow and bestow a special dignity. It is better to serve the poor rather than exploit them. Do not imitate those who have earned money dishonestly and spent it in addiction and indulgence. It is not necessary to show the world that you are intelligent. Even violent animals like leopards and birds like crow are endowed with intelligence and cunning. And among human beings, those with a combination of cunning and intelligence, with or without violence, fill the jails. Shun them. For inspiration, keep the idol of the best, the noble, and the noble before you following them. All fields in all directions are waiting for idle changes. First of all, we must control our time and expenditure by understanding what is proper and change our pattern of spending, savings, and change the deep-rooted habits resulting from greed, temptation, flattery, etc. If this is carried out, our habits will soon change for the better, and our mind will be under control instead of becoming helpless, depending on others. Once self-realization is achieved, you will feel that you are having not only ample means for livelihood, but you also have a vast treasure with you. God has enriched everyone with enough ability and time. Each one, while saving himself from degeneration, can contribute something progressive to the society and its culture. Why should we imitate the bad custom entrenched in the people? People produce hordes of children in an uncontrollable way and then think of obtaining creature comforts for them. Why should we not train our children to have the attitude of hard work and creativity? Where is the need for extravagant waste of money in marriages by ostentation and costly receptions? People have developed wrong habits. They covet taste and ruin themselves by their gluttony. It is not necessary to follow them. Similarly, people earn by immoral means and waste it for wrong purposes. People indulge in addicting intoxications, eat improper food, and waste away their lives in wrong deeds. Just because they are our near and dear ones, it is not necessary to accept and adopt their filthy habits, nor is it necessary to accept them as our guides or advisors. Just like the solid pillars of the bridges on the sea, we must come out of the deep sea of ignorance, bad conduct, and rigid attitudes. Real bravery lies in marching ahead with honesty, discretion, and fear of God in the heart. Ignore the people who ridicule and oppose you and do not cooperate. The goal of Yug Parivartan bringing about a radical change in the era, should first be achieved in each member of our mission. This is akin to kindling a lamp. Have faith in the fact one can kindle 1,000 lamps from a single kindled lamp. Therefore, change yourself and be in the front line of leaders who will usher in the change in the era. This is the call of the times, and let not any awaked individual ignore it. Today, physical illness, grief, low incomes, family squabbles, and social inequality are increasing at regular intervals. Addicts think it quite natural to take intoxicants and to rob. Dacoits are also forming gangs and spend their time in such activities. On scrutinizing the present society, it becomes clear that we are all living in a rotten situation which is devoid of human dignity. Philosophers who have thought deeply on progress tell us that a situation is nothing else but a reflection of our mind's attitude. An individual's personality is a coordination of his qualities, thoughts, and actions. He draws similar situations towards him. In other words, the individual surrounds himself with situations which are a reflection of his inner self. Society is a group of people. The nature, attitude, and the atmosphere of the society depends on the level, good or bad, of the people. The importance given to a man is actually the importance given to his mind's qualities. His qualities, deeds, and temperament are a man's treasure which can make a man happy or unhappy. After understanding this philosophy regarding man's rise or fall, one has to conclude that for bringing about any change in a situation, man's inner self has to be cleansed and reformed. A man can lead a life full of peace, progress, and joy if his outlook, temperament, and character are raised to a level of excellence. If the current situation is found unsuitable and there is a real desire to change it, then it will have to be thoroughly cleaned. If a gutter is choked up and stinking, superficial cleaning and disinfectants cannot remove the stink and the teeming germs. The name and manifestation of individual or societal troubles may be different, but ultimately there is only one solution, viz. To change the attitude and pattern of thinking and bring about revolutionary changes in the traditions and customs. Reverse the wrong way of thinking and you get straightened thinking. In one word, this can be called Yug Kranti, revolution of the era. The society's pace of downfall is rapid and we have nearly reached the point of mass suicide and great destruction. Therefore, people's activities involving bad deeds have to be reversed and the available energy should be utilized for constructive programs. Our slogan, Hum badlenge, Yug badlega, we shall change and the era will change, includes both the diagnosis and treatment of the situation. For changing the situation and the society, it should be considered essential to change individual mentality and to create strength of character. Everyone must be conversant with the fact that today's need is total revolution in the pattern of people's thinking. Without it, not only the program for a better future be useless, but even protection from increasing troubles will not be possible. In short, individual thinking and social customs can be termed as transformation of activity, by which rotten beliefs have to be discarded. This will pave the way for adopting what is proper and virtuous. A common man with a very modest income is forced to adopt a simple lifestyle for survival. Similarly, we must adopt that kind of simple requirements of the body. The money and time thus saved must be employed with enthusiasm for good deeds and reforms, and one must exert with valour for eradicating inner and outer wickedness. If we are able to establish goodness in place of bad customs, then we have found a royal road to bring out the society from the mire of wickedness for bringing about a bright future. This achievement is the definite basis of Yug Parivartan, transformation of the era, for coming out of the hell and enter heaven with diligent efforts. Today, ego and the greed and temptation of indulgence and accumulation have enveloped everyone in their madness. People cannot think of anything except their desires. They are willing to do anything for their petty selfishness and feeding their ego. It appears as if propriety and discrimination have been given the go-by. As long as these beliefs dominate our thoughts and actions, it would be impossible to release ourselves from adversities. But if there is a change of heart of the individual, then it would be easy to change the outside circumstances. Discipline is the only and definite solution to protect our capacity and resources, which are wasted in either foolish or deceptive plans. The rise of a person starts with the adoption of the ideal of plain living and high thinking. We are all aware that ostentatious marriages make us poor and dishonest. Dowry is an evil custom. The show and enthusiasm of large-scale preparations have their own terribleness below the surface. This creates a chasm between men and women and creates a distance between sons and daughters. In addition, the education of the girls curtailed. Married girls get harassed for more dowry and either commit suicides or are murdered. The wickedness of dacoits is seen between relatives. The dignity of married life has received a body blow. The backbone of our country's economy is broken and the entire society has degenerated. As a result, many evils have cropped up. The demand of the times is for a strong and visionary campaign against dowry. Life should be considered a gift from God, and its aim should be to make this world, this garden of God, a better and better place. Such effort helps to fulfill the twin aims of self-enhancement and the welfare of the world at large. Reduce your ambitions for status, but increase your desire to achieve greatness. Do not come within the grasp of desires, greed, attachment, etc. Carry out good deeds like persons with liberated mind. Do not turn back on this fine path. Think of good deeds for the present and the future. Think like a Gyan Yogi, a knowledgeable yogi, a man who constantly thinks of God, and act like a Karma Yogi, a man who constantly works for God. Spread goodwill like a man in love with God, and use it for defeating the evil. Think every morning that you have just now been gifted with a new birth, and every night think that you may die any moment, and immediately get involved in good deeds. Time itself is life. You have lived only in proportion to the good and proper use of the time at your disposal. Hence, use every moment for toil by keeping in view the above fact. Think of laziness and malingering as your bitter enemies, and let them not come near you. Constantly scrutinize yourself and check whether you are doing the work without interest, with neglect, or doing it slowly. Did you work with eagerness and energy? Remember, the work gets completed only with a harmony of time, toil, and total dedication. Do not think of any work as inferior. Think that your prestige is involved in carrying out the work properly and act accordingly. Start seeking work by yourself instead of thinking that suitable work will be given to you when you are free. The yardstick for measuring progress is only one: who is enthusiastic in work and who progressed with enthusiasm. Be a worshipper of beauty. Beauty is a combination of cleanliness, simplicity, and good thoughts. Apply the above to your body, clothing, bed, home, and workplace, and find out whether there is dirt and disorder. Wherever you see it, immediately correct it. Go to bed early, arise early. Write a diary regularly. Keep a balance sheet of the misuse and good usage of the wealth of your time, labor, thinking, money, and influence. Find out disorder and correct it courageously. Review the traditional customs and try to make them more progressive and dynamic. Remember, your ability in thinking and organizing about every aspect of the work for changing the era, for collecting the means, and getting the cooperation will raise your level, make you successful, and bestow honor. Good manners means respecting the other person and talking politely to him. Make it a part of your nature and do not be rude. Do not think that good manners and politeness will show you as inferior, create difficulties for you, and lead to your downfall. Be cheerful and develop a habit of keeping a smiling face. Do not display tiredness or sadness on your face. Listen more and talk less. Stop boasting. Instead of using the pronoun I, use the pronoun we more often. Do not use flattery and let your behavior towards everyone be that of a gentleman. Be away from impulsive behavior, excitement, bitterness, annoyance, etc. Say politely and with a quiet mind whatever you have to say. Do not use bad words. Without losing your gentlemanliness, you can still show your disapproval and try to reform and influence a person. Do not take decisions in haste. Discharge your duties as an idle person while remembering the social morality and restrictions. This will help to prevent criticism. Avoid sarcasm, ridicule, gossip, and calumny. Where a reform is required, think of the gain and loss involved and then present your viewpoint in a friendly manner with a friendly advice. Understand the importance of the capabilities given to you in the form of labor, time, ability to think, money, and talent, and think of moving forward by their good use. Do not waste even an iota of any of these. Discipline your senses. Save yourself from the temptations of taste and think of the harm caused by the thoughts of sex. Arrange your day's schedule and stick to it with determination. Do not run away from labor and do not waste time in laziness. Cultivate the habit of self-study. Use your mind's energy in deep thinking for spiritual advancement. Practice introspection for personal salvation, but do not be aloof. Mix with people. Work together and distribute the fruits of your labor. Consider yourself part of society and think that your progress lies in the progress of all. Understand the significance of strength and progress associated with collective effort, and instead of remaining aloof, organize collective cooperation. Carry out mutual cooperation to whatever extent possible, but this should be only for good purposes. Love your country, religion, and culture, and spread goodwill and friendship. Consider all as yours and yourself belonging to all. This goodwill and friendship shines when applied to service for public welfare. Show generosity and in return get self-satisfaction, respect, and divine blessings. Adopt far-sighted discrimination and fix your policy on its basis. Accept only what is proper from the traditions and customs. Have the desire for public welfare, but do not pay attention to people's views. Since the people's prevalent thinking is in the wrong direction, do not be dragged by its influence. In every situation, adopt the policy of discriminating between right and wrong, and develop the courage to ignore what the people will say. Look at everything with love in one eye and an attitude of reforms in the other. Support what is proper and do not support what is improper. Where possible, oppose the improper and start even a struggle against it. Adopt this policy with near ones as well as others. Do not cooperate with even a friend or relative in any wrong deed. Play the role of a tapasvi person performing penance for reforming the self. The role of Manasvi, person with a single-mindedness of purpose in reforming the society. Do not be a silent spectator in an atmosphere of immorality. The value of a social servant's moral strength is much more than social service as such. The influence of a social servant's thinking, character, and temper is much more than the efforts to reform and uplift others by influencing them. Every member of our mission and every Yugshilpi, architect of the future, must fulfill these primary requirements. The main limitations regarding the above are as follows. Number 1. Give up the greed for taste. Do not show your desire for tasty food at someone's home. Number 2. Do not talk with women in seclusion. When talking to women, talk with your eyes lowered. Number 3. Keep your mind as clean and pure as transparent glass. Number 4. Be polite and respect others in speech and behavior. Number 5. Maintain simplicity in your dress and in grooming your hair. Avoid decorations. People develop faith in those who enter the field of social service. People shower respect on those who show the courage for public service. Wealth can be utilized, but there is also excitement in it. If one does not have the capacity to bear this excitement, it can cause harm instead of giving benefits. If wealth cannot be digested, it can cause different addictions. A powerful but uncontrolled intelligence will start a vicious circle. If one is unable to control one's strength, it finds expression in rude behavior. Even the best of the things, if not utilized properly, can be painful. If one does not have the strength to bear fame gracefully, it goes to one's head and the person's downfall starts. This affects his character, personality, and future. Unfortunately, most persons doing social service show this dichotomy in one's character and actions in public. There are 3 tendencies which throw a man into the deep chasm of downfall, viz., lust, desires, and pride. People with a lust for sex waste away their whole life in its grip. And pride? People with pride want to monopolize all the praise, all the status, and all the powers. They cannot bear anyone's partnership in such matters. This difficulty itself has caused the maximum amount of discord in the world. At first, one may think that crimes are committed because of temptations, but the fact is that wherever 2 or more egos clash, the result is the sentiment of revenge, and then assaults, kidnappings, sadism, etc. Fight against injustice is only in the name and seen only sometime. The truth is that the harassment of feudal rule leads to clash of egos and untold hardships. People will praise the worthiness of the Yugshilpis, architects of the future, and shower honor and fame on them for their public service. If this honor and fame is not digested, then like a mad elephant, its result will be destruction of the self, associates, and the organization. A mad elephant first attacks his own herd. Similarly, when a social worker's fame gives him a swollen head, he tries to prove his associates as foolish and useless or wicked persons, so that by contrast, people will consider him great. Naturally, this produces a chain reaction, and sooner or later, his associates will want to desert him, leading to a breakup of the organization. We see all around us the naked display of arrogance. For example, the quarrels and slogan shouting in the political parties are not for the principles as claimed, but because of the clash of egos there. Similarly, we find that many power-hungry trustees have made many organizations either useless or even led to their closure. One finds the same history repeating itself from time immemorial because of temptation and pride or ego. One finds the same scenario in religious sects where the sincere followers are few and self-seekers are much more. The scenario at the time of national elections leaves much to be desired. Scores are settled by murders because of the clash of egos and the hunger for power at any cost. The scene on the home front is no better, with squabbles between husband and wife, daughter-in-law and mother-in-law. The reasons are the same as above. Status anywhere proved costly. Anyone who tries to prove himself great regarding wealth, knowledge, beauty, power, etc. has to show by vivid false means that he has got these special qualities in him. He also craves that people should look at him and understand and admire him. For this, he spends lavishly on fashion and pomp to advertise himself so that people should gaze at him. People are eager to have their photographs printed for giving donations. They also find ways to proclaim their donations and make others spread this information. Where possible, they want plaques to be fixed on the walls of the institutes where they have donated their money. This is no doubt childish, but displays their shallow mentality, and many people hate them for such behavior. After gaining fame, many people amass wealth by wrong means because of their influence and become internally hollow. People who shy away from publicity and adopt politeness and goodwill become really worthy of honor. One who has the clear vision to get satisfaction by serving the people as an humble volunteer gets unexpected recognition. A person is trusted and receives cooperation in large measure from his colleagues because they love him and have goodwill for him. In their own interest, social workers should sincerely shed the desire for status and must avoid temptation and arrogance. Vision lies in and in avoiding boastful claims and giving credit to others. People believing in plain living and high thinking reach greatness because of their exemplary behavior and politeness. Every social worker must follow the above example. The character of a social worker must be so excellent and lively that anyone coming in his contact will be impressed. It is easy to dazzle people for some time by presenting your views in a glamorous manner, but never permanently. For a permanent effect, the person has to develop an inner strength, viz., the strength of character. One famous thinker says, everyone is an idealist in his thoughts. This means that most people avoid putting the ideal into practice. Even the foolish and sinful know what is proper and what is not. But most people forget it in practical behavior and despite knowing the code of moral conduct, do not adopt it. The same applies to social workers. If they merely go on discussing this matter, it serves no purpose. They themselves must become shining examples for others to follow. Social workers should not only be independent and be without pride or ego, they must also be free from greed. Many people use public money for selfish ends. Many social workers have to take the lead in activities in which money has to be collected. Merely proving their own honesty in such cases is not enough. Even dishonest people can establish that they are honest. But public servants must be fully dedicated to pure intentions as well as honesty. They must strictly maintain all the accounts and also declare publicly where the collected money was used. Whenever a person works for a large institution, he must discharge his obligation to be responsible to that institution. In the present situation, there is strong requirement for social work and persons willing for social service. If this requirement can be fulfilled, then it is not difficult to create a happy society, but it is possible only when people can understand their duty for social service. Accordingly, the social worker should transform one's viewpoint, character, and actions and work with courage and enthusiasm. Once the viewpoint, character, and actions gather strength, success is yours and ordinary people will also like to follow you. Anyone who wants to become a Yug Shilpi, architect of the future, to serve the people must develop the purity and strength of character which lends dignity to him as well as the society. Every wise person must understand very seriously and think 1,000 times over it the following point. The wealth available to him over and above maintenance of livelihood is not for luxurious indulgence or for inheritance by sons and grandsons, but for use in public welfare. God does not want disparities of the rich and the poor, the knowledgeable and the ignorant in this world. God considers the people of this world as His children and wishes that all His children maintain their livelihood at the same level. To collect more and more and lead a luxurious life while others live in want is definitely walking in the opposite direction of the true aim of life. It should be considered doubtful whether people with such an attitude will get even an iota of blessing of God by a false show of worship. There is no other proof of God except self-realization or upliftment of the soul to an exalted level. There is an eager uneasiness with self-realization that the person wants to use his extra wealth for those purposes for which this extra is given to him. This call of the inner voice must be clearly understood as God's voice, and one must consider oneself God's chosen one in proportion to the intensity of that call. A person should be considered spiritual and God-loving to the extent that he works for achieving the life's aim. The more he works, the more he is spiritual and his love for God. We must rise above artificiality and receive God's blessings by honest worship to progress further on the spiritual path.